Hey guys, Logan here, and welcome back to my Steven Spielberg series. I'm going to be covering a select few of Steven Spielberg films leading up to Ready Player One coming out on March 30th. I already covered a few of Steven Spielberg's films, like War of the Worlds, Saving Private Ryan, Jaws, and Minority Report, I believe. So just a few that I want to leave out. And for this review, I think my fifth one or sixth, I don't remember, for a review for a Steven Spielberg film is going to be for War Horse. So what is War Horse about? Well, basically a young man named Albert spends the rest of his months with a horse that he named Joey right before the start of a war between the British and the French, or no, not French, Germans. And Joey was recruited to join the war, and then this movie shows the whole journeys that we see through Joey along with a horse friend of his, and we get to see him go through what he has gone through throughout the entire film. Now, very much like Jaws, Saving Private Ryan, The Minority Report, and The Adventures of Tintin, this was my first time watching War Horse. I did not see this movie in theaters when it came out, so after watching it for the first time, I really enjoyed this movie. I almost had no issue with this film. I only have one nitpicking issue, but I will get into it later in this review. So, this movie was fantastic on 99% of the entire time. First of all, the story for this movie was very interesting. I find myself invested a lot more to this horse that Auburn named Joey. I find myself caring more and find myself rooting for Joey to survive in many war sequences that he got involved in. I mean, the first 20 to 25 minutes of the film revolve around the relationship between Albert and Joey, the horse. And I thought the relationship between the two of them was very fantastic. I really bought into the relationship for a man and a horse bonding, making a bond together. Just stuff like that really puts a smile on my face. Just to see a film portraying a relationship between a man and an animal, specifically a horse. So like I said, the first 20 to 25 minutes of this film revolve around the relationship between the two. The whole second half of the movie just shows you about Joey going on his own way, trying to find his own way through almost every war sequence that he almost got himself into, or actually got himself into. And I pretty much said this throughout my whole series of Steven Spielberg reviews. Steven Spielberg does a really good job at moving the camera smoothly at someone or something, moving pretty quickly. It wasn't all that shaky cam bullcrap that you see in at least most action movies that we got. It was done very well. The editing, the directing, and the writing and the acting, all of which were done very well. I only have one nitpicking complaint with this movie, so let's get on with it. There was one storyline, or story time, whatever it is, the story aspect revolving around two boys. And it was only maybe 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. And out of all the story arcs for a few characters that were kind of important to the main story for this movie, the storyline with the two young boys was my least favorite out of all of them. Not to say that the story was horrible or very awfully or terribly written, very awful in many ways. It's just that I didn't feel invested in that storyline or that story aspect. I just felt like it wasn't the best story aspect in this entire film. Other than that, I really was enthralled and was in awe by how fantastic this movie was. Just focusing on one horse, going through his way to try to survive, and then finds his way back home. That was very touching. This was a very touching movie. And I do recommend you watch it when you get the chance. I'm going to give War Horse a gold Medal of Honor. My next review in my Steven Spielberg series is going to be for Lincoln, and it will be up in 6 days. That is a week before yesterday. So be on the lookout for that. And that is about it for my review for War Horse. If you guys enjoyed my review for War Horse, please click the like button and comment down below to let me know what you think of this movie. If you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.